Okay, what an eventful 24 hours. In my last video, I talked about how I finally told my dad, I love you. And the next morning, my brother said Dad had the worst night ever. He's getting worse. The doctors are waiting to talk to us when I come in. And we couldn't get him off the breathing machine. We couldn't wake up. He's not alert. So he's worse. And a couple of things went through my mind was, thank God I went back in and said, I love you. And trusted myself, because that could have been the last time I ever saw him. And now what's running through me is like, whew, this is it. And so this video is being done the day after. I was a little preoccupied yesterday, but today's the 5th day. Dad is in the ICU since his heart attack. And he's got stage 4 cancer in his lung. It's now in his shoulder. Emphysema. His liver's failing, kidneys failing. His heart is close to failure. So nothing's working but his brain. And his heart's beating. And he's got oxygen. And that's what we got to work with. And so I drove in. We spoke to the doctors. They talked about heart surgery is too risky, it's too brittle. When they went in to take a look with the angiogram, they didn't do any repairs, which they usually do, because it's too risky and it won't help much. And so my first response was to call the radiation doctor, the chemo doctor, call people I know at UCLA, get everybody on a Zoom session, and I just stopped and said, what am I doing? I can't fix this. It's not my journey. I can't heal him. I can't transform it. There's nothing I can do except accept this moment. As his son, as his healthcare directive, power of attorney, I can't make this better. I'm running from just being in this moment and loving my dad and helping my brother and sister love him. We're out of choices. And so my brother and I went out into the lobby and talked, and we went through our options. Radiation, chemo, heart surgery, hospice. And within 45 minutes, we worked together as a team. And it just became obvious. The truth is right there. What to acknowledge, what to do, how to handle this just became obvious. Radiation's for the pain, and he's not in pain. It wasn't meant to treat the cancer. It was just to reduce the pain in his shoulder. Chemo is going to create a whole new level of problems and sickness, and he's just not strong enough. And heart surgery's out. It's too risky, and it's not really going to help. And hospice is next. But Dad doesn't want hospice care. And so this is where I get to make a decision. This is like where he put me in to lead this. And so it became clear when talking with the doctors that they wouldn't release him to hospice. And I said, well, I know my dad's vision, and staying here is not a part of the vision. So I'm arranging for hospice to arrange our home so we can take our dad home. And I said, what's standing in the way? And he said, well, he's got too much fluid everywhere. And if we take him home now, a BiPAP machine may not be available. And if we ventilate him, that requires a different hospice care and a different ambulance to take him. I said, well, what can we do to get the fluid out? And he said, well, we can increase the Lasix, which is a diuretic, to flush out all the fluids. And they moved him from 40 milligrams up to 100. And I said, great, let's do that. That'll buy us time so we can take him home. That's the only thing standing in the way from me honoring my dad's vision. And his vision was to die at home, not to die alone. And he didn't want to die on a ventilator. And right now we are minutes away from him ending up on a ventilator. So we walked back in, and I looked at my dad, and he took off his mask. He goes, this is it, huh? And I said, yeah, this is it. We're in the bottom of the 9th pop. We're out of pinch hitters. We're out of pinch pitchers. I got nothing. It's me and you and the family right now. All I need you to do is one thing, and I can get you home. I said, I just need you to pee, and pee as much as you possibly can. And there's a good chance we can get you home. And he took off his mask. He said, I'll pee. I said, pee like a racehorse, Pops. He goes, I'll pee like a racehorse. And for the next 8 hours, all this man did was pee, like 5 liters. We were celebrating the urine in the bag. And every hour he was starving for food and water, and we couldn't give him anything. And it was like, look, TV, look, Pops, the TV, the Dodgers are on. And then Family Feud's on. And then I had the nurses come in. I'm like, you're go-go dancers right now. You're not nurses, like dance. We have to distract him. And at the end of 8 hours, they ran his blood again, and the levels in his liver went down, his kidney went down, the fluid went down, and we could feed him. And hospice came by, and they booked it up so that we could take him home. And it looks like now we're gonna take him home. And so he's actually on his way right now, here, home, so we could live out the rest of his days here. And so all there is right now is the essence of who this man is, and keeping him comfortable, and just accepting this is where we're at. Like we've got 3 choices. He wants to die at home, not on a ventilator, and with us. And that's all that mattered, because that is the last choices we have. We ran out of all other choices to make him better. And so when the nurses came by and said, we're on a full do not resuscitate, I didn't want to sign it. And she says, you have to understand hospice is do not resuscitate. And that was me wanting to fight it again and keep him alive for as many days as possible. But that's not my choice to keep him alive, it's his. And we have to accept it's any moment. And we can't stand in his way when that moment comes. So my dad's going to arrive, and everything is set up, and we're ready to go, and we have the medications. And that was 5 long days of the ICU. And every moment it was like, do you want to resuscitate or do you not want to resuscitate? And I'm making life-changing decisions. And the truth is, I don't want to see him suffer. I don't want him to have a heart attack and looking at me and me saying, sorry, Pop, there's nothing we can do. But when I got to that, I love you, and everyone else said it, and we expressed our love and gratitude for him. Making the decision was much easier, because we can now choose to be in acceptance that at any moment he's going to go to his next life, wherever Dad believes he's going to go, and for him it's heaven. He's going to see our mom, his wife, and his grandpa and grandma. Our grandpa and grandma and his mom and dad are waiting for him. I know they are. And so today's Friday. Dad'll be here a couple hours, and I don't know what's going to happen next, other than we're going to be here 100% for him. We're going to feel vulnerable, we're going to feel scared, we're going to feel laughter and love, and we're going to feel all that. And as long as my dad's comfortable and he's able to relax in the last few hours of his life, then we did good for him. I'll catch you in the next videos.